The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Be interested to see how many people come. Here we go. Next door. So, I wonder if anyone's going to join. Probably not. I don't care. Okay. That's going to be good. Okay. Looks like people want to go to bed. But I don't, because it's 3 PM here. This is going to be about, what's that garbage that's come up on Discord? I don't know. They're trying to advertise now. Can't quite read it either. Dismiss. Damn stupid thing. Hang on, I'll just post around a few things. There's a few things got to check here. We got someone showing up. I'll just once I get my eyes focused on this stuff, I'll be able to see who it is. Yeah. So, but nothing to do with GUFON or third phase. This is about my ghost hunting night stuff I found. And some new evidence, maybe. I'll see what you think about it. And I'll be showing you all the meters I've got. So it should be fairly interesting, hopefully. Who knows, though? Some people like paranormal and some people don't. But it's all interconnected to UFO stuff. Probably because, I had this theory that maybe portals open up and things from other universes come into ours, and maybe the aliens are trying to actually hunt down Bigfoots and all that and return back into their own dimension, or try patrol, patrol the portals, send them back. Yeah, a bit like Men in Black, I suppose. Hunt them down and take them from the normal system. So yeah, have we got Wild? How's it going? Let me just catch up. I've got to post up some things on the side chat anyway. Thanks so much for everything you doing for real ufology. That and also paranormal. Have a wonderful broadcast tonight. Okay, thanks a lot. I know it's a bit late for some, 18 miles, but some of us do work crazy hours. You know, I was up to 5 a.m. yesterday doing some research for Cambion to use if he wanted to use it. What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm on the road. That's alright. You won't see all the little ghost bits of videos I got then. Listening is only half as enjoyable as actually seeing what I'm presenting. Well, I just winding for tonight. Okay, no problem. Like I said, it's a bit hard to also feel good to be able to do a live show. You know, yesterday felt really crap, and the day before felt crap. Plus I was listening into all the new stuff that Cambion was trying to present and all the other crap. So I thought I'd do something more positive this show and just focus on what I'm doing, rather than worrying about all the drama and the lie and the tax on me, and it gets a bit too much, you see. Can bring you down. I think that's what they want you to feel, though. They want to bring you down, to press you and sort of give up and leave them alone. But unfortunately, I do still do my debunks on and look at the videos, right? And give you some proper analysis. You know, I do at least 5 minutes research on most of them. They do zero research, and it's quite funny. Goofon's trying to defend his security cam UFO at the moment. So I think Cambion might bring that up on his next show. I said to him he can deal with the Goofon and third phase moon stuff at the moment, and I'll just focus on more positive stuff. But yeah, the guy's ridiculous. He's calling us debunkers, hoaxes, and we've got more solid evidence that it's a security camera than he has. It's ridiculous. I don't know. So anyway, I've been up to 4 a.m. doing ghosts research, seeing if I could get anything to show up on the meters. But I've got this video, well, I've got a fair bit of videos here that I recorded on the smartphone at 3 in the morning. So I'll just go, it's not in any order here though. Let me just zoom in so I can actually read. So there's the first video. There's the last one. And I got some enhancements here to look at. And see what you think about it. So what happened a couple of nights ago is I felt something lay on top of me. Well, touched my feet anyway, and then it felt like a dark presence was over me. I was just laying there with my eyes open. I get woken up with this strange sound. It sounded like some sort of ghostly scream. Yeah, like that. I thought maybe it was me wheezing, but I woke up and I watched the video back and I can't hear that sound at all. So I thought at least it may be me gasping with breath, but you can hear me snoring quite happily, and then suddenly I stop snoring because I get woken up. So I'll play that clip now. And beware, extreme snoring. Yeah, my nose is blocked up. It always blocks up once I start laying down. That's why I prefer to maybe even sleep lifted up a wee bit. So I don't know, my nose is just annoying. So I might have to bring over. Why is it not clicking it? Might have to bring over VLC. Let me see where it's going to. Oh. Took a wee while to show up, didn't it? Alright, so I told you. Now, I might turn up the volume, see if you can hear any background sounds. I might just have to put that up. That's rubbing on my headset. So I'll see how much you can spot in this. You might have to go to full screen your end. I'll just roll it back. So no lights are on. This is how good these security cameras are. Now, you'd think I had a big lamp on next to me in bed, but no, this is the new Sony sensor cameras. Unfortunately, the firmware on the camera is a load of crap. It doesn't allow me to send it off to my MVR to record it on a separate device, so it goes all onto the SD card on the camera. And as we found out with the UFO alien visits I was getting, that they were deleting all the files when they were visiting, so I had no evidence. So that was in my other presentation probably a couple of months ago. Now, what we got here is a single bed that was purchased from when we had guests over from Germany. That was a bit of a disaster too. But anyway, that's sort of become a storage, a spare room, right? It's got this dresser table here with a mirror, and it's also got a fairly decent LCD cheapo TV there. And now I'll just play it and see how much you can spot. Then I'll go over it again. Darth Vader thinks, yeah. Have you recorded yourself sleeping? Do you snore? I think everybody snores though, don't they? But yeah, I'm sleeping on my left side here. Maybe slightly towards the back. So my feet come down to here. And you can see it's 3:24 in the morning, where the spooky hour generally happens. So I'll just carry on playing. Does sound like Darth Vader, doesn't it? Bloody 18 wheels. Well, there's already stuff happened in the room you probably didn't notice. And I'll go over it. Do you see any dust, people? You can see I'm deep in sleep here. I'll just keep it in that volume for the time being. I can't hear any EVPs or anything like that. I think that's about loud enough anyway. Okay, I'm coming up to when I get woken. You see I suddenly stopped. Very strange, you think. But I heard the scream. Now I'm not sure what happened there, whether it's me kicking my feet or something. I was trying to scare it off. It was actually still on the weight was still on my feet. So you can see, now you're going to start seeing dust now. Now I'm going to grab the ghost meter, K2, and just check it. I haven't turned on any lights either. Yeah, I think I scared it off. But see if you notice anything else happening. Should be able to see some dust, but it's also some suspicious orbs at the end here. I think there was a dust one going up. But you see a really bright one that comes down on an angle, which is dust normally goes up, not down. Oh, look at that one. See how it curved? Okay, so we just caught it on the end of the video, just in time. Yeah, so you got some evidence as well. Yeah, you could bring it to the table on our show here, if you want to. No dust, or I'll make a video of it. Cool. If your camera moves by itself, that would be really interesting to see. So, it was on the orb on the TV. That last one at the end here. You're talking about? I know you've read it on Discord, some of it. But if we got to zoom in on this, where the mirror is. So I've angled it so I capture just past the doorway and to that's a pillow. So I've actually got a pillow half over my head here, and I've got one nostril that's blocked. That's why I'm snoring, because it's as you breathe in, it's sort of sucking it in. But 17 seconds in, you might see what looks like a head. It's not a dust, because the dust ones are generally small and moving upwards at a faster rate. And you can see there's no movement there for it to create dust at this stage. I'm not sure if I can capture it or not. It goes very quickly, and my eyes are not terribly that great at the moment. There it goes. Did you see it? So either it's a reflection of something that's up here near my head, reflecting off the TV. Maybe that would explain why something whispered in my ear, because I'm laying on the side. But yeah, you probably didn't see it. But what I did is I did some enhancements that I'll bring up. Okay, so I captured all the frames. I think that's the first one. Oh no, that's it. Oh no, that's another night. That's the next night. Where is the frames? Oh, at the end. Okay, let me just scroll down. Here's the snaps of the frames. Okay, 3:24:25, just before I felt my feet being touched. Not sure if you can see that or not, but it looks like, see how it's like a little circle, half semicircle there? As you see as the frames, because it's only doing what? It's probably not doing 30 frames a second on the camera, on the SD card. I think it only does something like 20, we found out, or 15 or something. This is the problem with security cameras. They're still not fast enough. But you can see there's a head. Doesn't look like dust. And if we go to the next one, it looks like it's coming out of the TV actually. Now you've heard of alien stories of people seeing alien greys moving around inside the TV screen, or also apparitions, right? Hey, how's it going, Anthony? Unidentified S4. Yeah, I'm just going over some of this footage I've caught recently. See what you think. So I think this looks like it's coming out of the TV, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's why we always keep the middle road on this stuff, in case we're just sort of misleading ourselves, right? And of course I go to the next frame, you can see that head, which I don't think is dust, is moving upwards. See that there? See, it's gone from half a dome shape. Well, it's not even a dome shape. No, dust is normally a perfect round shape normally, and it looks to me like a side of a head, like it's reflecting off the screen, but looks like you can see it doesn't even seem to overlap on the edge of the TV there, right? If it was a dust particle, should be at least some bleed over, or some sort of warping of the image there because it's got a little edge on it. So if we go to the next one, it's even further up, right near where the feet get touched. I get touched on the feet. So that even looks like more bigger, doesn't it? It looks like a head and maybe a body forming there. You see what I mean? It's very hard to see it. You have to run it through some filters. No one caught it apart from me. I gave it to the family and said, have a look at this, see what you think. And of course that all freaks them out. Mum said that same night, well, in the morning, which would have been 4 hours later, she got touched on the arm in bed. So, yeah, it's a bit creepy. Okay, so the next frame. Looks like it's disappeared, but I think it's just moved along. You see that? So it wasn't. That's only 3 frames and it's gone. That's how fast it was moving. Dust doesn't generally disappear like that, does it? Oh man, could it be a reflection of the wall TV? Well, there's no lights on. This is in pure darkness. There should be, and the only thing that should be shining is the infrared LEDs on the camera, which you can see the glow of your eyes, alright, when you're up close to it. Apart from that, there's no white light in that room. It's got a wall clock that's LCD, but it's not backlit. And the light's not on. So great to see. Yep. Thanks for joining us. So it's good to have more the merrier here, especially those that are into paranormal. I can almost see its eyes. Yeah, I'll wait till I'll show my enhancement of it. See what you think. I think it's a side profile and you can see a nose. Yeah, I know Steve and other people probably don't believe in it, but the thing is, if I go back to when it first appears, it's like half a dome, right? There, look, and you can see it's not bleeding over the edge of the TV like normal dust particles should. See that? Seems to be right on the edge of the TV, like it's coming out of the TV. It's really weird. I was really surprised that I actually caught that. Because when you look at normal distance away, no one sees it. And if you watch on a mobile phone, you'll never see it. So I just run it through some filters, one of them anyway. That one there, was it? I zoomed in and colorized it. And it kind of looks like a side profile. It looks like 2 eyes and a nose and a chin, doesn't it? Almost looks demon-like. Looks like it's got a long head, like an alien would have. You know, there's a lot of talk about aliens. And there are other accounts of people that are being abducted always have sensational of stuff standing on the bed or their feet being touched. But that looks like a skull, doesn't it? 2 black eyes, you know, it's probably pareidolia, but it's hard to know, you know. We can see there's some noise there on the black screen, but that doesn't look like dust to me. That one's unique, I think. See, it kind of looks, if I can get the arrow pointing, that looks like the mouth, a nose, and it looks like inset eye here, the forehead, and maybe here. Now, I just wonder if this is the guy that committed suicide that lived in the flat above our old house that we rented out. I think he's still attached to me because I had the bedroom directly below his. So if you listen to some of my paranormal stories with the images that I show of the old house, it'll make more sense to you if you've been following my story of my life. So yeah, that one there is really, really creepy. Does kind of look like a person to me. I was hoping that I was going to see something come out the mirror that's above the TV, right? And what else we got here? So I did a investigation the next night. Was that the one I zoomed in? Here we go, I zoomed into it. So there's the image there, and once you do color swap on it, you can bring out all that noise into another color, right? And then you can start to see better. But yeah, to me that doesn't look like a dust, and considering that I felt something on my feet. So if we watch the video again, you can see either it jumps on my feet or a reactor. I'm not too sure. You got to remember, I was woken up with a scream and some ghostly scream in my ear, and you can hear me come out of a deep sleep and think, what's going on? And the next minute I feel, which doesn't show on this camera angle, unfortunately, I need one on the ceiling looking downwards, feels like something is pressing down on my feet on just over the other side of this quilt here. I'm not sure if I react to it with the feet going up, or whether it was a muscle spasm, or right. So we got to always keep that in mind, that it could be some sort of craziness with the muscles, cramping or whatever. So we always have to keep the middle ground on it. But it did feel a wee bit strange. It's not like a normal person pressing on you. You have this sort of tingling sensation, like it's actually gone through the covers, and it's has this sort of a chilly, tingly effect. So it's not normal sensation of someone coming in the room and just pressing down. It felt really strange. So we'll just play it back here, and you'll be lucky to see the orb, but it's 17 seconds in. Yeah, you have to put up with it. I can't hear any EVPs, which I can't hear the screen. Yeah, I'm really blocked up. So I didn't actually see it, but it was there. You might be able to see it on bigger monitors. So there's the mirror. I would have thought something might have come up in the mirror, but TV? There's zero dust in that room until the feet go upwards, and then we start to see some dust orbs. So we'll focus on those at the end. But you can see there's just nothing floating around. Out like a light. Yeah, I'm in a deep sleep when I get woken up. So I'll give a link to the original footage so people can have a look at it themselves. You might be able to see something I've missed. Maybe slight movements on the bed or something like that I didn't see. But I think it's a fairly interesting event that happened anyway, even though it scared the crap out of me. Yeah, we're in a brand new house. There shouldn't be any hauntings here, but it might be something to do with the land. Maybe it's on an old riverbed. Maybe it's got some volcanic rock and magnetic rock underneath the house that's creating a portal. But it may be that something got attached to us from the other house and simply comes to visit us. So we're about a good 30-minute drive away from the old house. So I don't know. This is why we keep researching. We're trying to figure out the stuff, what it's all about, but it is a bit creepy. So if you look at all the things with the light switching on and all my other evidence I've presented to date, you can see this is just another piece of evidence that sort of adds to my credibility as far as I'm concerned. There's no reason to fake this stuff because I don't make any money from it. You know, I don't get donations left, right, and centre and spend half a show thanking people for the donations because I just think that's just a waste of time, you see. Okay, so we got another minute of snoring, but you can see there's no dust. I'll just zoom around. Can't hear any EVPs. I'll shut up though. Okay, so don't like me snoring. I get woken up. Didn't hear any EVPs. It's annoying. I see a dark presence over me, but it's not showing up on camera. I thought there was something in the room. Now I'm trying to kick off this weight. You can see it sucks in here a wee bit every time I kick it. It's kind of weird. Now I'm grabbing... I'm saying I'm going to get you, and I grab the ghost meter, see if I can see if it's flickering upwards, whether it's my imagination or not. And there's no light on. Now look, something went straight down there. Now could that be dust? It happens really quickly. You might have to put it in slow motion. But if you look carefully, there should be some dust now. Kick that upwards. That's the only time we see dust. Alright, I did actually tap on the light at the same time there. So you can see there was a little flicker as it went from infrared to normal light. So I actually did touch the lamp when I grabbed the meter. You can see now the quality of the image in the mirror is far superior, right? And you can see the screen, but we ain't going to see any reflections probably. So I have got the light on now. And what's that there? It's like something moving up in the corner here. And it's gone. Is that dust? I don't know. There was something that flickered here. I don't expect to see lots of dust, you know, skin flakes or whatever. Should be lots more. And you got to remember, it's normal light now. So infrared normally shows up the dust even better, doesn't it? As long as you keep it dark. When you got the light on, should you be able to see dust? Oh look, what was that? That just happened there. And again, it's right where the feet are. But could that be incorrect distance? Maybe it's right near the camera. Maybe we're just being fooled. This is a problem with not having two cameras aimed in the same location. Okay, then we've got something moving this way, which doesn't look like dust either. Now that probably was dust, but I don't know because it's going upwards. But where's the little dust? Where's all the... It's not showing up much. See, what was that? That just shot by there. Now I know there's no bugs in this room because the room is shut tight all day. And I haven't seen any bugs in there. New Zealand's a bit like that at the moment. It's only just starting to come into summer. So there's not many bugs around just yet. Yeah, so that one at the end is a very interesting one. It's almost looks like it's given off its own light. Yeah, I didn't see anything with my eyes. Let's see. I did actually post a Google Drive link. People might be able to watch it better. Paranormal detective. Blue Chicken, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Just popping in to say hi. Okay. That's what everybody's saying. They're going away again. That's it. Ron and I are coming to New Zealand. Problem is, if you come to New Zealand, you may not want to leave. It's just such a nice place here. Paul set up a digital recorder overnight. You might get lucky. I actually haven't got a digital recorder, but there's no reason why that the camera shouldn't be able to pick it up. As you can see, it picked up the snoring pretty good. That's the one thing about this camera. It has crappy firmware, but it does seem to have one of the best audios on it, because a lot of them have that buzzing sound, you know, that, and all my other ones have really bad sound. This cheapo camera only cost me like $30 New Zealand, which is about 15 US, and you can see it's a 2.5K, and it has a beautiful image on it. A Sony sensor on it, and a beautiful audio on, crisp audio on it. So yeah, and I actually ordered a 4K one, and they sent me a 2.5K one. So I complained to AliExpress, and they gave me $15 back. So I got it really cheap. So yeah, but yeah, as I said, sometimes files go missing on the SD card. But you have to watch my other episodes to see the evidence that I present. Like I got 2 hours of missing footage on the SD card when something I know happened with aliens. And as soon as I wake up, it starts recording again, and then I've got the evidence to show you that. Like, people make that claims all the time that their files go missing. Well, I've got evidence, I've actually documented it. So yeah, it's a bit creepy. But most of the time it's quiet in this house. But I did actually, I'll see if I can find the link to the video anyway. We need to go slow motion on it. Like I said, I've only spent probably 10-15 minutes on it, and I just found this stuff, which is pretty good, I think, considering. In fact, I didn't even look at the time on the clock, but I knew it was between 3 and 4, so I just downloaded all the footage and went over all the extra minute clips and joined the key ones together. So it takes a video for 1 minute and cuts it up into 1 minute slices, which is kind of handy because the files don't get too big. And gives you a thumbnail of each minute, so you can actually see if a person's standing there or something. You can actually quickly find stuff. So that's pretty good camera for a cheapie. Yeah, I forgot to get the link though. Let's see, it's on Discord. And I'll just find it now. On the other screen, so just bear with me and see if you can access it. Let's see. Ghost, where is it? Nope. It's amazing how much stuff gets posted. Maybe I didn't post it in that bit, did I? Alright, so I actually got these other videos I did of the light going on. So I might just play that now while I'm looking, so you can have a watch of it. Copy link. Yeah, let's just bring it up. So this is what happened a year ago. This is when the activity of the paranormal started picking up a bit. And I'm still using this light today, and it's working perfectly fine. And none of the buttons on the remote would work apart from the color disco light button. And then the next day it was working almost perfectly fine with the white light again. You could turn it off and on, and it's been working alright until the start of this year, wasn't it? February maybe? It started switching on by itself again when I'm not in the room. In the morning, I might add, not at night time, which is really strange. It always happened between 7 and 11 a.m. Anyway, I'll just play this clip of my past thing.
Okay, something's just happened here when my lamp there on the tripod just simply blinked out. But it's not completely dead yet, and after the experience I had last night, it was extremely strange, to say the least.
Okay, this is at 10, it hasn't got a timestamp on it. I think it was 10 o'clock at night, something like that, when the light just turned off and the room went dark. So, yeah, I grabbed the phone and started recording it, just in case something else was going to happen.
But not only that, I'm sure I just turned off this phone earlier to find it's turned on, and actually on the camera app, which I wasn't using at the time. I actually had it set to gallery mode, not camera mode. There you go. I wonder if it'll stay on. It's really weird. I get a lot of faulty tech around here, more than usual. So yeah, something almost, I just wonder if someone actually had something's turned on the phone, had it on camera ready to go, and set up this thing as soon as I got back to the room.
Yeah, that was really
it's kind
weird.
of weird, spooky,
creepy too.
They're gonna die completely. Looks like I'm gonna have to unscrew it and put a regular bulb in it. Now, they're not cheap, these disco lights. Normally it spins around, colour lights on it. I'll see if the light system will turn off and on. Only got one light on at the moment, so the shadow.
So I'm going up to where the remote is for it, because it's on the top of the dresser there. I'm trying to push all the buttons on it and nothing's happening.
Oh, right.
Apart from that one,
Really
which just
strange.
turns on the colour LEDs. That's the only one that would work. It's really strange.
LEDs to do that, right? But the white ones won't stay on. It won't spin anymore either, which is another strange thing. The motor's on a separate circuit. But that was the first thing that went wrong with it about a month ago, so...
Yeah, the ghosts keep breaking my tech around here.
These are old disco lights that I've had since 19...
Oh, they're in the garbage now, they are.
And the wiring on that is, all the insulation's gone off it, so I can't use them. But the bulbs are expensive, like $15 each, so or more, so I don't actually repair it anymore. I'll probably end up dumping it, but it was a good heat source, you know, you could put it on and it just keep the bedroom just the right thing and temperature. So as soon as I put it on white mode only, it don't work. It works.
Colour.
I suppose I could use it on that mode instead of change it. And it's not as bright though. Kind of weird. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so I went to bed that night, and in the morning or afternoon, I thought I'd try the remote again, see if I can turn on all the buttons. And blow me, everything starts working okay with that light. So I'll just bring up the next day, and you can see I can turn on the white light. So, a new day. Nothing happened last night, as far as I know. But as you can see, today the LED light's working perfectly fine. Not blinking, and it's rock solid. So whether it stays that way, I don't know. Extremely odd. But you can put it down to Chinese rubbish, hardware problem. A skeptic wouldn't believe it was paranormal or anything. Let's see. Can't seem to get it turned to disco mode today. Not working. Yeah, the battery was flat in this, I think. That's another thing. Yeah. You have to be like half a foot away before it actually detects the signal. Yeah, looks like it's switching back and forth now. So it's working fine. So yes, I think, did it switch off at the end? I can't remember now. Or did it flicker or something? Doesn't look like it. Anyway, that light's been working perfectly fine since that night until this year. And then, as you know, I've featured it turning on by itself in the mornings. So yeah, we're not going to go over all that again, but let's see, what else other goodies did I have here while I'm looking. So this is in my winter room. Because it's got hot pipes running through the walls to the bathrooms either side. It's actually a few degrees warmer in here during winter, and when summer happens I go into that other spare room, because eventually here it's going to be like 30 degrees Celsius to sleep in, and you get the bright sun in the morning. So I go into the other bedroom. So, you know, you'd think the other cameras would be picking up strange stuff and happening in this room while I'm in the other one, but no, it's not the case. So yeah, and also how long ago after I had this happen. So you got to remember the strange thing, which I couldn't document because I didn't have two phones or other cameras. This is before I had security cameras and all that all over the house, because I couldn't afford it. And I only had one smartphone that had a camera on it, and I'm using it here. But the phone I turn off and place it next to my bed. It's totally turned off. And I woke up and found it turned on, and it was also on the camera app at the same time, and the light switched off. And you got to remember, this was in the evening, so I left the room to go and get a drink in the kitchen, and the light was on, and I come back and noticed the light was off, but I could see the light from the LCD on the camera app on the phone, and I thought, that's strange, what's happened? So I walked over to the lamp next to my bed here and picked up the phone and saw that it was on camera. And so I started documenting it, as you can see there. So that's the rest of the story there, which maybe wasn't clear. But I've also got this one here. Now what I've got is I bought a tripod. It's in the same room again. I bought a tripod with this big light pack on it, and also a smartphone holder. And what I'm talking about here is that this light, in the middle of the night, I don't know what time it was, I'm not sure if I say, but this big bright LCD light turned on, or tried to turn on. I sort of I woke up and I saw the LEDs for the power indicator on the back of it flashing back and forth like it was low power, which is really strange because it was fully charged, and these light packs on these tripods lamps can at least run for a good hour off the batteries, so it's kind of weird. And it's got a few batteries in the back, you know, like double A, about 5 of them or so. I can't remember the exact number, but it has a few batteries in it. So this is the big LCD lamp, right? And it's really bright. You can use it in studio for proper camera work, and you can choose warm light as well as white light. And it's got on top of here the camera holder for a phone, so you can use your smartphone with a tripod. I haven't told this story, but I've talked about this tripod light. It's on, just go back a wee bit, see it there. So I got another power pack, right, and I tried to connect it, and it just wouldn't go with the other power pack. It has an external input on it, and it just wouldn't turn on. And of course, I checked the charge in the other power pack, and it was flat as well. And that was on the other side of the room, standing on where the light was, next to the disco light. So something happened. It's like a bank of LED lights, and it has 8 double A used on security cameras. Okay, so this is the other power pack. I'll just skim it. I woke up one night, and it's got some lights on the back that flicker up and down when you put new batteries in, or when the batteries go low. Okay, to turn this on, to get those lights to flicker, you have to hold in, I'm not sure if you can see it in the image, but there's a couple buttons here that also rotate, the double action buttons. You have to hold it in for 5 seconds to turn on the lamp. So to get this to flash up and down, something had to be pressing the button for 5 seconds. This is the strange thing about it. But unfortunately, I didn't have any security cameras in the room like I have now to be able to capture it. So I got this other battery pack, which is 12 volts. Takes pretty much all day to charge it. And as you know, I've used it previously on my other sky watching cameras, and you know how long that lasted. It lasted 3 to 5 hours, right? And this thing was totally flat. So I plug it in, I think, and I had problems getting it going. I'm not sure if it had any juice in it. Normally what happens is you push that button in for 5 seconds, and it lights up like that, and you get a nice bright light, and you can control the colour of it from... So, did I get another battery pack? I'm not sure. More of it. Or did I put new batteries in it to demonstrate it? I'm not sure now. If I clipped it in. I think what I did is I tried to plug in that battery pack. So I put it on charge, and then once it was charged, I did this video to demonstrate how the light works and how the LEDs work, right? But anyway, go back to the new evidence now. So yeah, if you want to watch all those, they're all on my YouTube, right? So this is 2018 here. That's funny, that's October, and we're back in October 2022, and we've got stuff happening. So I don't know if the month, something to do with the month. And then it'll go quiet for 6 months, so I won't have anything happen. That's really strange. Okay, so better see what's on the side chat. I haven't been trying to... So I got the video posted on the side here. As soon as I can bring up... Get rid of that again. If you want to download it and have a look at it in your own time, the new footage, and see if you can spot anything I didn't. Yeah, that's fun, you know. fun when you get some real interesting evidence. You might be able to hear something I didn't. What I need is a program that eliminates the snoring, I guess. Maybe I can run it through Audacity and see if there's any lingering whispering or something in the background. But yeah, so what I did is the next night I created these 4 videos of using all my tech. Now I did actually grab some other ones. Ones that look like dust. Dust, mostly dust. Well, not actually 100% sure, but we'll just play those ones. You can see that I'm moving there with my foot upwards, angled up on a triangle shape, because I had a back pain. So I don't know if for me lifting up my covers that high created all this dust. But you can see there's a lot of motion, stuff happening there. Or was. Like, there's no one. There's another one. You can see this, they're different. They're nice and round. They seem to be nice and round, and it's in darkness now. And it's also 5 in the morning, so it's slightly different time. So there's something that went downwards there. There's something there. But I'm not too sure if it's dust or not, you know. So then something went here and upwards, so that could be dust. And then a little thing dropped down here. Then something shoots up here. Look. There's a lot of activity. So I think it's dust, but I can't be 100% sure. And I got this other one. Which one did I just play? This other one here, dust maybe. You can see I'm moving a wee bit here. Just before 5. And we got all this movement here. Let's see. Some movement over this side. Now I've heard knocks on the cupboard's door in that bedroom, but I just block it out. See, what's that one that's come shooting downwards there? So that one looked different than dust. It always goes for the feet for some reason. Now I've had this quilt, it's quite heavy, actually pulled off me in bed, but again I didn't have a camera set up to capture it. Here's something just shot by us there that looked like dust again. And there's something popping out this way again. But yeah, it's a bit hard dust, most likely. Not bugs. And this another day I felt like something was touching my feet, and I'm not sure if it was a foot spasm that maybe that triggered. Let's have a look at this one. But you can see here some movement. You can see it's not shortly after all that dust floating around. You can see I'm perfectly still there. Now look, did you see that? Something is definitely touching that quilt there. And you can see there's no dust. Where's all the dust? Where's all the dust gone to? There's one, or maybe. That could have been dust. But yeah. I did actually notice something touching me, but I just totally ignored it that night. I didn't react to it. I was just going to see what was going to happen. So I'm laying there. You don't hear me snoring. That's because I'm awake. I'm just laying there perfectly still, pretending to be asleep. I got to take that off the screen there. Okay, let's just do that again. Just zoom in. So this is the night after, where that is weird. That looks like it's going under, doesn't it? It looks like it's going under to touch my feet there. Ah, look, I saw something there just move, and it's heading towards my head. I think that was not me moving. Let's just go back. Looks like it's going under. It's right on the end too. And look, something moving there, but I can't quite see it. And then it disappears. Amazing. Creepy. You can see I'm not snoring. If I progress it another 10 minutes on, you hear me snoring again. But I didn't bother saving that video. But yeah, something just went down there. I don't know, it's a lot of activity in that room. I don't know why. Maybe it's got some stuff that Mum's got hand-me-downs from relatives that died. All sorts of things in the cupboard there. So it might be related to that. Or it could be related to the other house attaching to us. But anyway. Thicker than my... Yeah, it's a German quilt. Has a lot of... what do you call it? Duck feathers in it. It's super warm, right? It's actually a single one too. Mum wanted to get rid of it, you know, because it's only for a single bed, and I said no, that's my favourite quilt. I've had it all my life, and it's nice and heavy. And that's the thing, it puts a weight, because there's a lot of feathers in it. So for me to feel something moving, that means they must have a bit of energy in them to actually lift that up or press down on it. So it's kind of weird. It's really strange. But yeah, on a freezing cold day, that quilt is a godsend. Sometimes I even take it into the kitchen on a really, really cold winter day and just wrap myself around it in the chair. Around the bed. I would speculate that if it was dust alone, we would see it all over the room. Exactly. If you look at some of my other past ones, there's no dust at all, and we see orb, but we also hear a sound. Which I haven't got handy here, but I have covered it before. You hear what sounds like a smartphone being touched again, a bang noise, and then you see where the smartphone was, this orb come up through the table and head towards the ceiling. And it goes on a bendy arc, and everybody's saying it's, some people are saying it's a bug. But I can tell you there was no bugs in the room. And this is in this winter room, not the other room as well. So, yeah, like I said, if you're new to the channel, you may have missed all the other evidence I've presented over the years. Over the months, I should say. We can crash at pools. Yeah, you could, but Mum is getting old now, and she can't handle guests in the house. So not until I inherit the house from the parents, then I can't really offer people to come over and stay. But maybe in the future, you never know. See what happens. I don't want my parents to die, of course. I'm quite happy for them to keep living, and maybe they'll even outlive me yet, because I'm getting up there in age now. I'm nearing the old 60. You know, I'm older than Gufon, and Gufon keeps attacking me, right? He's an idiot, that guy. It just drives me nuts, that Richard. Get your passports. Yeah, I think Plex might be ahead of you there on the passport. So when I get the house in my name, I will probably open up that guest bedroom for anyone that wants to come and stay. But anyway, you probably want to do your own thing in New Zealand though. It's alright for a base, but then you want to get onto the tour bus or your own rental car and just go around the South Island. It's an amazing place and there's lots to see. And you go to all those old gold mine locations and actually do some paranormal hunting there. It's just amazing. The places that you got in New Zealand that's still available, but a lot of it got put under hydro dam project, so a lot of the old encampments probably got lost in the process, unfortunately. But yeah, so here's my ghost tech anyway. We'll go over with ghost tech. And how many videos have I got there? What's that one there? Oh right, that was a mirror. No dust. Room empty. Okay, so here's I did a one here. If it's going to play. Okay, this room's been locked for a good 8 hours or more, and you can see there's no dust whatsoever. The curtains haven't even been in there to be pulled, and it's like 3:30 in the morning, roughly the same time as the other one, and there's zero dust. I haven't gone to bed yet. In fact, it even looks like the light's on, but it's not. You know, it does look a bit more, when we zoom in there, pixelated, because it is off infrared light. But because this is open, we're getting moon and starlight coming in. So that's why it looks even more brighter, you see. And as far as I know, there's no movement happening in this room. There's nothing moving around in the mirror. So I just used that as a base example. Only happens when I'm in the room. So here's a video. Let's see if it'll play. Okay, so this is what it looks like on a crappy smartphone I have. I didn't realise it was so overexposed on this smartphone, so I might have to use my other camera in future. But yes, this is the room, there's the door, there's the boxes that you see.
So this is the room I had experience in last night. There's the TV where the thing at the base of my feet at 17 seconds in on that video showed up. They say beware of mirrors.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So my nose is blocked again, unfortunately.
My device is here, so I'll go over there. And you can see I got the K2, which I reached and used in the dark.
Okay, that's a touch lamp, so you just have to touch on the metal anywhere and it turns on. And this is the cheapo $30 New Zealand camera. Yeah, it's a good picture. It's got 5 antennas on the back. It was meant to be 5G, but it's not 5G. The Chinese lied. And it was meant to be 4K, and it's only 2.5, but it's still pretty good.
And that big bright orb went past.
So that light was on when we saw that big bright orb zoom past, or it looked like it zoomed past where my head was at the end of the video.
Which didn't look like dust.
But we'll go back and analyse that, alright? So you can see we've got a funny quilt on here. It's sort of a white-blue mix.
So these are the gadgets I've got. EMF meter, a proper one. A guided counter. And a laser temperature. And of course the K2. Unlike the ones on TV, you don't have to hold the button in to get it working. What you do is just click it, and you can see the camera's overexposing it quite a lot. So how do we get around that problem?
Yeah, this is a Sony phone too. This is a Sony phone, and you think that they'd have a really good exposure thing on it, but you can see that the camera is designed for really low light even on the phone. That's why it really overexposes the light in the room, because it wasn't this bright with my eyes, right? But this camera has really amped up the brightness. So you can see it's green and it's flickering onto the next green level there, and that's all the background is.
You can see it's blinking near the phone. Couple green, the first green ones.
In fact, I think it might even got up to yellow there next to the phone, because the phone is also Wi-Fi, so it's emitting EMF as well as magnetic pulses, right? There you go. I think that was possibly just a little blink of yellow there.
Last night it didn't go above the yellow. It blinked once when that orb showed up.
Yeah, so it blinked yellow when that big orb flew by, because remember I was laying in bed with it.
Yellow. But it's near the camera here, which is Wi-Fi, which gives off EMF.
What's happened? I just heard a weird sound in the room. Like banging on the cupboard or something. Maybe something's listening in.
You can see it's not going into the yellow or orange or red. So
yeah, well, I haven't actually listened this is the first time playing it back, so I don't know if there's any EVPs that might happen, so we'll just keep an eye out for it.
It's not doing anything. That's not dangerous levels. I wonder if we can get that less bright. That's just crazy.
You can see the lens flare as well.
Blinking, which is normal range. Now there's a microwave, a fridge there.
Behind the wall.
On the other side of the wall. And a microwave, which isn't on. So that shouldn't be interfering with dream states. And there's the mirror. Still pretty standard. Nothing abnormal apart from a lens flare.
See, I'm always a bit skeptical about the K2 because I have it all on the Ghost shows. Have you actually used the K2, Anthony? Do you use it? Have you had any success with it blinking into the orange and red at all on your investigations? So what are these guys talking about here? What state you're in? Yep. We found that last time. I thought it was in Oregon. I suppose there's a bit of distance from you guys to get together. Yeah. So that's probably another thing I need to get is one of those FLIR attachments to the smartphone, eh? Money, 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 guys. Only if I was goof on with people throwing money at me. It's been getting so bad that my friends stopped talking to me. Okay. What did they stop talking to you about? What, because of UFO recording stuff at night? Yeah, well, I don't care telling people my stuff. They can either laugh away or believe it or not, or call me a hoaxer, which is laughable. I live by a portal. Yeah, you live in a flight path, that's for sure. I'm not sure about a portal. You're not getting strange stuff like I'm getting with the paranormal. Maybe you are. Maybe you've yet to reveal the information. Maybe I'm just making assumptions. You could ghost hunt and UFO hunt at my place. Yeah, I'd love to go to America and do that. You never know. If I win lotto, I would go mad with Anthony and myself there. Yeah, then you can go on Cambians and have a big fight. That was so funny. Who was it? Who are you fighting? I can't remember who you're fighting against now. Someone that was being a bit skeptical. Was it DB? Cooper? No, he was a wee bit skeptical. What was the other person? Cambion, I'm not too sure on. Game recorder from Ghost Shop that I need to try out. Yeah, just a matter of time. So much time is needed for this stuff. And if you got like endless recording, which I have, I've got these cameras endlessly recording. You just haven't got time to sift through every day and look for stuff, you know. And there may be even better stuff where stuff gets moved, and I've just missed it, you know, because I wasn't in the room or whatever. So I thought maybe this China had something to do, some sort of attachment to the China, because that, I think that's a hand-me-down from the relatives. But you can see, gone around the whole room here.
Machine here.
There's lots of electronics and things, and it doesn't go to three green things.
It hardly ever gets used.
You can see I've spent quite a lot of time, you know, 15-minute video clips here and there.
You can see this ancient China here. That didn't get broken in the earthquake.
Yeah, we lost a lot in the
some of it
earthquake here.
got passed down when Granddad died. So yeah, nothing crazy's happening at the moment.
Okay,
It's
so I'll go through all the other
2:01.
meters now.
And the thing happened an hour and a half later.
So I tell you what, it's a bit creepy when you're the only person awake in the house and you're doing this stuff by yourself. I did actually feel a draft in a few videos coming up, but I couldn't document it. So, because I got a laser temperature thing, I probably need like a standalone temperature thing, like one of these gadgets I'm using here. Is it a trimeter? Does that? I heard the good things about the trimeter, but I'm not sure what the price is. S4. The best was Goofon tried saying a ghost orb was in his house. But the other day it was literally a laser pointer. Yeah, I debunked him on that one. Yeah, he staged it. And he made a few episodes after as well. And so he set you off, Ron. He is actually a nice guy. Yeah, I just put it down to the New York hotheads. No, I wasn't actually trying to debunk you. I was just trying to make suggestions how you can make a really solid case for that amazing apparition you caught on the thermal there. So you've obviously got a lot more footage that we didn't see on that little clip. But yeah, that was a really interesting capture you caught there. That's the sort of thing I need to capture. But yeah, we'd have to keep going through all this because it goes on a fair bit. It's just so it's all documented, you know, in case more stuff happens, and I can just refer back to what date that was or whatever. It's always good to have a YouTube channel when you document all this. People either are going to watch it or they're not. It's up to them. Let me just... I'm quite happy for you guys to even come on voice at some stage if you want to and talk about it. But just let me present it first and I'll open it up probably. Yeah, as long as you got the Jitsi app on your phone or a Windows PC or laptop there that you can run Chrome and just load it up in Chrome. You don't need to join anything. Just click on the link and you're on voice. Okay, no, I wasn't trying to be wise, I was actually trying to be helpful. But yeah, you know, things, you know, we had DB Cooper stirring up things that night. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing, we all, you know, we can learn from each other on this stuff. Now, I watched pretty much every ghost show out there. The latest one that was on TV was a Ghost of... what was it? Buttle or some sort of city in America, which is an old gold mine / copper mine location. It was just recently on TV, and instead of having Nick from the Ghost Adventures on there, like the other ones, like the Ghost of what was it called now? Sherwood or something. And Ghosts of the other location. We've done a couple of them so far. But I think he created the series, so I think he might be the director or whatever. But it actually had that guy from the what is it? The Filer Files? Is it the one where he goes through the old cases of an old ghost hunter, which is actually quite good. What's his name? Dave Schrader. So here's the latest one. I did actually mention about it, didn't I? Yeah, I was just trying to think of what the name was. Actually, we should actually just bring it up. It was actually quite interesting. It did actually capture some interesting stuff. But I don't like that Huffman ghost box they use, where it's like a super echo chamber. Because I think it's faked. I think he's got some fake software on it that listens into voices and then it uses a computer to play back random words that they've spoken or whatever. So they think it's in the location. I thought I had the browser open here. Maybe I didn't open it up. Maybe I closed it. What was the last show? Ghosts of... Ooh. It's normally called Ghost Off series, and then they put the city name after it. I'll just try Ghost Off. Let's see what comes up. Okay, we'll search on recent... in time past month. I think it's in the last month. Here it is, that one there. Devil's Perch, is that the one? I think it's the one. So the sheriff gets them in. Dave, Cindy, and Katie. That's Cindy. It's amazing some of the stuff she comes out with. You know, I'm a bit skeptical of mediums because we know about cold reading, but unless someone's cheating, I'm not sure how she can bring out facts that they later verify by going to the library. So I'm not sure. I think maybe some people are able to pick up information from the environment, maybe stored in atoms energy. That's my theory anyway. Anyway, I'll post a link to that there. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. It's not a bad series. Some people think it's staged, but I don't think it is. New show. Is it Fighter Files? Or I can't remember what it's called now. Not the Dead Files, although that's quite an interesting one too, considering it's got a X detective on it that seems to now believe it. I think at the beginning he was a wee bit skeptical, but what was the other ones they had of that series? You probably have to look on the website there. But anyway, is it the Filer Files? Filer Files. I missed out an I. No. Is that the Filer Files? No, can't be that. Maybe it is. I'll put his name in. Dave Schrader, is it? Shows. Ghost Hunting Schrader talks about his new show. He comes from the same place as you, isn't it? Minnesota. Travel TV. What else did he do? What was it called? Yeah, it talks about the Devil's Perch one. Come on, move on. Thought it would come up with the other series. What was it called? These guys probably know. Anyway. Hoster Files, there it is. Where did I get Filer from? I think that was another show, wasn't it? Anyway, I kind of like that series. They actually do manage to solve things, and they pick up stuff in the research that other Ghost Adventures and other teams totally missed. So yeah, go and check out that series. I think it's well worth a watch. I think they need to branch out from America and actually do some in Australia and some in New Zealand or something, and get a bit of a travel experience out, you know. Or they could call it a new show, I suppose. Dave Schrader on the move. I thought he was a bit of a con man to start with because he's on coast to coast, right? Anyone that's on coast to coast, I think, fully a fraud. But I think Dave is pretty legit from what I've seen. But he does get a bit caught up when he was with the Ghost Adventures. Obviously, you don't want to turn that down because they get so many fans watching that. That's when he first appeared as a narrator for one of their live events, and I thought he was totally hopeless. He was coming across as fraud really, saying, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?" No. You'd have to go and watch when he's on Ghost Adventures, but yeah, since he's done these other shows, he's come across more credible, especially with the research that they were doing. And matching up the voice, the names they got on EVP as well, which is pretty amazing. Anyway, back to where did we get to? I'll close that one down. Back to this here on the meters. We all need to stick together and stay away from the S show upside down pyramid scheme. Yeah, but it's good as entertainment though, if anything, right? But you can see the stuff that's done professionally versus where it's sort of staged or scripted, I think. Especially when they go into a library and they start sifting through things and they stumble across something live on the air, right? Unless it's totally staged. I suppose it could be, but it doesn't seem to come across that way. But anyway, just carry on with this before I accidentally click the wrong button. Which is quite easy to do between the two screens.
Alright, so put on the button.
Okay, this gadget's really cool. It's a laser temperature. Can go up to 880 degrees Celsius and negative 40, I think, or 80 or something ridiculous.
This can measure up to 900 degrees Celsius, so fire, and go negative 60 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on that.
And just push the button with the laser, and wherever you aim it, you might be able to see it on the wall. There's the temperature. At the moment you can see it's a wee bit nippy in here.
Yeah, so we use metric here, so we're on Celsius, so Fahrenheit, you'd have to convert that. So 17.6 degrees is not exactly warm. Room temperature is classed as 20 degrees Celsius, so it's a wee bit cooler in that room. Like I said, that's why we call it the summer room, because it's good for when it's really 30 degrees. That room's always going to be 4 degrees cooler than the rest of the house. Why? Maybe because it's got ghosts living in there. And there's also the other side lounge to the kitchen. That's also super cold in that room all the time, unless you got the heater pouring on. And it's 64 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So that gives you an idea. So I'm going around the whole room now.
Humidity pretty good.
Okay, that's a cowboy hat from Australia on top of a vacuum cleaner, if you're wondering.
You see, looks like the base around here. Camera, hang out the camera.
Camera's a wee bit
18
warmer.
degrees Celsius. Nothing major cold. Oh, that's a sudden drop though. On the floor. Does feel a bit more chilly here actually. Actually, it feels like
Okay, so that's the cupboard I sometimes hear noises out of.
cold breeze just come down. Might be the light up there. Coming off from
I must admit that Sony camera has really good audio on it.
the ceiling. 16.
See how it suddenly jumped there as soon as I aimed at it? You'd think the ceiling would be hotter. This is why I can't understand. And it was quite warm that day, I think, as well. So the loft should actually be warm.
You'd expect it to be hotter up there, wouldn't you?
Oh, there you go. I'm
Heat
repeating
rises,
myself.
right? 16, that's pretty low. That's warmer over there. Oh, suddenly dropped.
That's a
15.
drop. 2 degrees in that corner suddenly. And then I'll check the bed. Yeah, it's roughly 18. 19
It's
there.
hotter here.
Might be because the heat of the light, I think I say, might be heating up the side of the bed there.
Maybe because it's near the light. Don't know.
Don't think it's that much of a wattage of a bulb though. Normally if it's 100 watts you could. But there we suddenly got 21 degrees. That's a big jump. And then it drops down as soon as I move it.
Why is that pillow hotter?
So, are ghosts normally warm or are they cooler? They normally, I would have thought they would have been cooler than the environment, but maybe they do give off heat. Maybe something's following me around. Who knows? So it's sort of staying out the way. Hit the button.
It's dropped. It was 19 before.
I'll just skim on a bit.
How's that going? Still flickering the 2 greens.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that. 16.
16, yeah.
Near the TV.
So I've got a single bed here in storage. It's normally a storage room, but spare bedroom. But it's the coolest room during summer.
And I forgot to put a timestamp on this. But I did aim it at the clock before, and it was like 2:15 AM then.
When it hits those 28.
So I'll just move it on a bit here.
The draft is gone now. Could feel it going over me before.
That's when I got the draft.
But it's the coolest room during summer.
So I'm trying to measure this cool blast I had. But it wasn't
Draft is
resistant.
gone now. Could feel it going over me before.
It's almost like something was following behind me. Okay, so there's a little gap in the door there, and I try and aim it in.
Cupboards. Yeah, what do we get now? Goes inside the cupboard. 17.
Now we know how much ghosts like to hang around in cupboards for some reason. Okay, so the next meter.
Beep when it's high, but it is near the phone.
So this one measures.
Be normal there.
It's got good indicators: magnetic field and electric field. And I think that's micro Tesla's one. I was meant to look that up, but if you push the button, I find out later you can change it to. Same as the K2, but this one here is the one that was going crazy, and the electric field, not the magnetic field. So the K2, I'm not sure how it works, but I think it only looks at the magnetic field from electrical wires and that stuff. Well, this actually obviously detects an electric field itself. Now I have to do some research on this meter, but that one does go crazy.
How does it compare to that one? What's it
The problem I found out is it's got auto time off, which I've yet to look into. I've got to read the manual.
The first bar. But can't read it when it's on. Let's turn it off.
Oh, there we go.
Why is it suddenly peaking?
Now, why would that peak? All I can say is maybe the phone or the camera is sending Wi-Fi signal in bursts, or it's cosmic radiation coming through, or it could be paranormal.
Bed. Coming from the bed. Yeah, so it's just flickering between the 2 greens.
The thing is, I was too scared to ask if anyone's there, because I know I've done that in the past and I've had voices appear on the smartphone, and when I tried to download it, I accidentally deleted them instead of downloading it, and I was really pissed off. So yeah, but when you're going to go to bed about an hour later in the same room, I didn't actually want to do like a communications with like a spirit board, because that's basically what you're trying to do. If you start saying if anybody's there and all that sort of stuff, and you're trying to record the meters, right, and trying to listen out for sounds later, I think it would probably freak me out too much. See, I'm not that brave, but yeah, I need to sleep too.
This is the K2. Why is that suddenly peaking? That's weird, eh?
So it goes from 0 to 50 on that meter, whatever that works out to be.
So that's one. What's it say? 2 milligauss. What's that reckon? That was going up to 50 peaking. I'm not sure I can trust that K2. 24. See, now it's stopped.
So you're saying the trimeter? Have you got a trimeter? I think that does temperature, magnetic field. It's like this meter, but it adds in temperature as well. I probably should have spent a wee bit more money and measure all three at the same time. You might see it also if you go under the... See, I didn't even want to do it in the dark, and because it was too soon after that screaming in the ear. So I'm a wee bit on edge. I might not seem it, a tough Kiwi guy, but yeah, I just couldn't do it in the dark, and then I probably wouldn't be able to record the meters, because this is the first time I'm showing the meters. So you found a warm handprint on the bed. Okay. So that's what I'm wondering, because we were picking up a 2-degree temperature difference. It doesn't sound much, but it might be evidence of something sort of following behind me or sitting on the bed when I'm not on it. You might see also go under the feet section. There are 3 separate people that make 3D emanations. Okay. I'll get you on voice in a minute, I guess.
No, move closer to it. As soon as I go away from it.
See, that's over at 79 there.
Peak.
But that could be from the phone, I suppose. See, it is kind of flickering. And that's dropped off, and that's still flickering. And yet, that's solid there.
Quiet, and that's so going up again.
I'm too close to it, probably. I probably need to step away.
So that one's saying 2. This one over here is peaking quite radically.
So if I was brave enough, I would have said, if anybody's here, can you wave your hand over the meters? But I just didn't want to do that.
Upwards 43. So you'd think this one here, 43. Is that milligauss though?
No. So I can't even see it with my eyes, but I can see it clear as day now.
It's a different... What's that say there? Still trying to understand it. So we've got one that's magnetic field and one's electric field. Quiet.
Yeah, I would have been through
These
that
mirrors are
anyway.
meant to be portals, right? That's why I got the camera.
So you can see with normal lighting, you can't see dust. So what was that bright orb I got at the end when I had this light on? So I don't think that was dust.
Sort of aimed at it and most of the bed, but it isn't. That gets up to, you can feel the way. I need to look.
I'll just skim through
This
some of
battery too.
So I put it near the TV now because that's where that head seemed to come up here slowly.
You can see it. There's no yellow blinking or red. And I've gone quiet now. I've got close to it. Oh, it's on steady 2 now. Over there.
Pull the ghost hunter.
And that's where we saw the first white blob. Didn't look like an orb though.
You know, 7 years ago, I wouldn't even imagine doing this sort of stuff, you know. I was never such a big believer, but in that last 7 years, things have been constantly happening and getting more and more. Look, I had something jump on me, which felt like a small demon, to put it bluntly. It's like a really heavy cat with 2 feet, which that felt like hoofs. It didn't actually feel like normal feet. And I could feel it on the sensation on my back because I was sleeping on my side stomach. But I talk about that in the past too, in past episodes. But it's before I had any cameras set up. So something keeps annoying me in this house.
Don't know if you can see, it's got 2 green LEDs there.
You can see it's not beeping. It was beeping closer on the bed.
Mind you, I've got to be careful because my left eye makes a double one, so I have to close it, you see.
Yeah, it's a bugger when you got a cataracts in your eye and they won't operate on it until your immune system settles down.
When I play it back, better see it better. Alright, so what's this saying now? Auto turned off. 18.
Yeah, it's
So I
very
want to
quiet.
measure it when it's
You know,
peaking.
must be about 2:30, 2:40 by now. Coming up to 3 a.m.
So I don't know where that Russian doll's from. They say some objects are haunted. We do have a lot of hand-me-downs stored around here. Okay, well, so lastly we got this one here.
So I end the video there and I start another one. Mostly because of accident. I actually don't touch the button. So next on to the next one, which is the Geiger counter. Have you got a Geiger counter, S4? Don't cross the streams. What do you mean? Of course, 18 miles, don't forget. Third phase makes all the crap CGI and green screen hoax stuff as well. Not all of it, but quite a lot of it they have. Don't cross the streams. If you frighten, record your voice asking Kristen, leave the room. Yeah, it could be something I could try in the future. Or I could, I think I can actually use the software here to actually talk on the speaker on the camera in the room, which is kind of a way to do it. And I can watch at the same time. But there's all sorts of things we can do in future. You know, I just got this gear all together in the last couple of months, so this is the first time I've really used it. So on to the next video, which is the Geiger counter, which cost me about 17 New Zealand, which is about 40 American, and you can get it from AliExpress.
Okay, for some reason the video stopped. Maybe it only got a certain size it allows. And we'll carry on. Hopefully it's recorded that stored the other one. That's I'm wasting my time. So this one's got 3 batteries in it. And it's a Geiger counter. So it measures gamma rays, X-rays and beta waves. Push that button to turn it on. Is it? Or is it that one? There you go. And it's rough as it. A Kiwi guy. Some basic instructions. The family's pretty crap. Press any key. It didn't work. Press one of the keys, it probably means. So it plots a little graph underneath, don't know if you can see that. And every click is radiation detection. Now, background radiation is 0.2 or less. You can see, I'm starting to create a little graph there, red. Unfortunately, I haven't got any radioactive clock faces or table salt, the alternative stuff that you can get. It's got potassium chloride and it's meant to be radioactive, and it'll go up quite a bit. I'll get into the other digits because there's radioactive isotopes in it. And you can see over there, looks like it's settled down, not making any beep sounds. And this seems to be constantly ticking over, and I think it's counting. You can see as it gets a click, it goes.
So that's like normal background radiation for the area that we're living in. You can see radioactive background is really low in New Zealand. Of course, that would be from the granite rock, or the rock that's passed down from the Alps, because this used to be like an ancient riverbed that it's now dried up and we're living on top of it. So it's going to have, you dig down like a foot in the garden and you hit all these shingle stones, like round stones that you find around New Zealand on the riverbeds. So I guess the radiation might be coming from some of those rocks underneath the house, under the concrete, rather than from space. So yeah, just keep on going.
Oh, and then after a certain period of time it drops again.
So yeah, guys, get yourself one of these meters, but just beware of the reviews and get it from someone that might charge you more, but you're guaranteed to get it delivered to you unbroken. The first one I ordered come with a smashed tube. Well, the inside of the tube was smashed, and the tube is actually half the price of the monitor device. And yeah, the seller was trying to scam me, saying, "Oh, I'll send you a new tube," but they were expecting me to repair it. And of course, with my eyes and all that, I wasn't willing to unsolder it and put a new one in. So I got a dead one in the drawer there that needs a thing, but it's got a better case on it. It's actually got a couple of holes on the back where you can clip it onto your belt, which is kind of handy. This model didn't come with that feature. Well, this particular version, I should say. The next version, they modified the case for clipping onto the belt, but it's still the same circuit board and everything, right?
So you can see there's not much red.
Okay, so I go around the room. I'll speed through it. What's the time? It's getting on a bit, isn't it?
Got 2 clicks at once, so.
So I'm often accused that I don't have my own material, guys, and by Goofon. He's always stealing stuff from Third Phase, always stealing my stuff. No, I got tons and tons of stuff, of my own stuff that I've been presenting over the years. I just don't watch my channel. They just lie about me all the time. And you can see there, I didn't notice, but this damn thing had turned off. And because it wasn't making any more beeps.
Did that auto switch off? I wonder how you change that then. I thought it was too quiet.
Indeed.
I'm going to have to read some of the manual on this one. I'm going to change the units on it. Set. Don't turn off. How much does it meant to be? Online searching. Hey, beeping over there. Dirty.
I'll just skim it.
Portable one for hand.
Alright, so I'll go into the kitchen next. And that's the next video. And that's where I saw the apparition of the tall whites in the door frame. So I wanted to go investigate there because I wanted to see whether there's any abnormal EMF or radiation that could have been affecting my brain to actually hallucinate the visions, which I don't believe so. But it's a shame I didn't have the cameras back then. But then if I had the cameras, they may not have shown themselves. But I know that as soon as someone come around the corner in the hallway or looked around, they disappeared. For some reason, they were only targeting me to see them. And the last one was a full-blown apparition walking towards me with half its body missing. Also a very pretty blonde lady that if you're married, you'd be very happy. But yeah, she goes and looks out the sliding door. I see her in full 3D, like they're there, but they're sort of half a body missing, but the solid top half was there, and it sort of went transparent in places. And this lady was looking at the dog that was outside on the sliding thing, and I was just sitting in a chair watching it. It was like slow motion. So realistic, just blew my mind. And this is the longest apparition I've seen, and of course she looks at me and turns around and starts walking back out through the kitchen door. But before that happens, my dad walks into the kitchen and doesn't even see her. Then he walks into the connecting lounge and pulls the curtains, and he comes back out and he walks straight through this lady, or half apparition lady, super pretty blonde. And I said, "You just walked through apparitions," and he says, "Oh, go on, get out here, you're dreaming again." And this girl looks at us and then turns around and she drifts off straight out the kitchen door and just vanishes. Totally disappears as soon as it gets near the door, just as it's going to head down the hallway. So yeah, I can't explain that. I don't know if it's a ghost, but she was like 6 foot, and the other ones I saw were much taller, 6 foot something, and the other one was like 7 foot. The guy looked like a basketball player, doing the thumbs up fingers to me in the door. And the first one was that crazy one where I thought the woman actually was with my parents when they walked into the kitchen, and mum and dad were talking amongst themselves. And I was watching this lady thinking, oh, she's waiting there for dad to get her honey. And she was solid. She had a nice suit on. She had this super bright pink top on, which with a white suit, it really stood out. And she had short blonde hair. I wouldn't say she was overly pretty, very average, but she was fairly tall, slender, and I blinked my eyes just for a second to rub my eye, and then opened it up and she was gone. And I said to the parents, "Oh, where did that lady that followed you in go to?" And they said, "What are you talking about?" And so Mum said, "Go and check the hallway." I don't think we left the door open, so if someone walked in, sure enough, there was no one else in the house. That was just crazy. It's just so crazy. So yeah, I don't think I was losing my mind. or sleep deprived or anything, because I felt quite okay that day. I was just a wee bit groggy with the stomach, because I take these pills that upset me a wee bit. So I normally sit in the chair in the corner and just settle down for with the gravity for an hour in the morning and sip on some fluid, and then I come good, right? So yeah, this is a house where crazy stuff happens, and it's all random. It doesn't happen every day. It can go quiet for 6 months and nothing happens. But anyway, on to the next one, into the kitchen of where
Okay. That's the chair I normally sit in the kitchen dining area. And there's the doorway where things have shown up. You can see the hallway light, sensor light has automatically turned off. And I've just got 2 lights above the table going. This is probably the worst phone to use. I think I should have used the other phone. It has a bit of light range on it. Probably too late now. Probably can repeat the experiment another day with the other camera probably.
Actually, it's probably not too bad actually, considering there's only a couple of lights above on, and yet it looks like the whole kitchen is lit.
If it comes out that bad. And you can see, still flickering.
It's on top of Dad's Beekeeper magazine here, because he's a beekeeper.
So there must be 1 milligauss of electromagnetic waves passing through all the time. And that did automatically turn off, so there's probably a setting to up that. So what's it say there? V/N. Is it?
Actually, what is that last one? Volts per meter?
It's probably a way to change the units. What's that say there? Oh, it's a not terribly good unit. What's that change it to? Milligauss, there we go.
Yeah, but not the bottom one.
It's dead quiet in here. Look at that. It hasn't beeped at all. It does feel different in here though.
You haven't told us that story, 18 Wells. You've got to come on and tell us the bizarre stories and ghost hunting and
the clock
stuff.
says 18 degrees Celsius.
It's amazing.
It feels cold around me. Draft.
It's amazing how many people have paranormal and also alien visits. There's a connection. Maybe people think we're all crazy or something. I found what I believe to be a ghost last week. Did you get another apparition, did you? And when I noticed in the window, completely took my breath away. Yeah, I was just like 10 minutes after going, wow, wow, what just happened? Wow. I would have loved to have had that on camera. I would have loved to have shown it to these guys. But yeah, then after that, I thought, damn it, I'm going to put more on the credit card and buy a load of cameras, and I did that. It changed my life, I had to finally start and then I bought all the meters, and so I'm pretty much in debt for Christmas again, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, hopefully I catch some evidence that people finally believe. Who knows? That would be really good, even if it's like goes all static, right? For no reason, because that's evidence as well, like something's interfering with the camera or the recording. But I have documented files being deleted off the SD card. And also, I had this application on the smartphone that would detect any volume over a certain dB, and it would start recording. And that night where I had bangs on the roof, all those recordings were mysteriously deleted off the phone, which shouldn't happen, should never be possible. And after the event, it started recording normally again. So I've had it happen a couple of times. So it's really strange.
But nothing's going off here. Not even the radiation meter. Still pretty constant there, isn't it? Now when I first tried it, in that chair was the highest reading. So let's just go back over there. And it's not doing it now. Maybe because the sun...
So you can see the radiation there actually looks lower than what it was in the other bedroom, which is kind of interesting. It's not by much, it's only about 4 or 5
We're
here.
streaming through the window because the sun is a radiation source, I think.
See, it's less active here in the kitchen, which is kind of strange.
It was getting up to about 18. Oh, there's the highest readings now.
Now it's starting to peak, you see, and that's kind of weird.
See? 15. Definitely more radiation in this chair. Why, I don't know.
So they went from 7 to 14 just in the chair. So there is a higher reading around the chair.
Could be something in the manufacture of the chair. Or maybe the ground's different in this corner. Hey, it's only got a beep.
I'm pretty sure the ghosts are listening to me.
And it's dropping down again, so that doesn't make any sense, does it? So there was some sort of energy being that influenced my mind to see something.
So I'm always a bit skeptical. Maybe the government have a van outside or something where sometimes they target me to make the visions appear. You know, I can't rule it out.
Some secret government technology.
They could probably do it from space even now. Or a high altitude drone or something flying over, buzzing around.
To make me think that I'm seeing apparitions and aliens.
Yeah, so could the aliens be manufactured somehow?
Beeping over there again. So it looks like it turns off after 10 minutes. So I have to keep turning it on.
So I go around that whole room like I did with the bedroom. With all the gadgets. And the highest reading I got was near the microwave, oddly enough. And it's not even being used. And I got one of these really cool coloured clocks. I think it costs about $70 New Zealand, about 40 American. And it's got temperature on it, which you can see is 18, which matches up with the laser thing. Although when I do the laser thing, it's 3 degrees different. So I thought maybe this clock is 3 degrees inaccurate.
You can see the LEDs updating. See the flickering?
Actually, you can't. I could see it on the phone, but I can't see it on the playback.
So,
anyway, there's another part where I start walking around. Last part.
So it looks like I touched something again.
Okay, so this is where the apparitions always seem to appear in the doorway. And the last one was the half body vision I saw. Was solid, and the bottom half was missing. She came walking in here to where the table is here, and was looking at me, turned around, looked out the double doors here where the dog was down here, looking, hoping that someone's going to open the door and let him in. And he didn't obviously see her because he would have started woofing, right? And then Dad come in here and opened up these doors and walked in there, opened the curtains. Then he walked in here, coming over this way, and he walked straight through her. And that's when I made that comment, right? And then she turned around and sort of glided back up to the door. Just as she got past the door frame, she disappeared. So yeah, that would have been fantastic to catch it on film. In fact, I'm always watching there just in case I see something stick their head around or something, because I always expect the sensor light will come on. Now, I was sitting on the bench here as well, which I didn't have any cameras set up, and I was doing my blood test and putting some insulin in on the bench here, and this door unlocked and flung open, and there was nothing there, and then this breeze come through and went behind me, and I thought, that is creepy, because there's no way this door can unhitch and open up by itself. It's just not possible once you close it. So yeah, but I've noticed this door sometimes moves with like a breeze, but there's no breeze in the room, which is kind of strange.
And there's a stilly button at the bottom here. Not sure.
In fact, is it moving now even? Have we seen the door close?
Attached on this phone.
Did that door close a wee bit? Or is it my imagination? Let's probably have to go back to the other video footage.
So it looks like I touched something again. And there's a stilly button at the bottom here. Not sure if it was that.
Did that door move shut a few centimeters?
Attached on this phone.
I remember that door being open more. I have to go back and actually check that now. Is that one? Let's have a look.
Okay. Gas off. There's the doorway.
Maybe not. Maybe it got open a wee bit and then closed again. Hang on, let me just keep on going. Where do I look at the door again? Does that look like it's opened more? Might not be much. It might be just my imagination. I thought I saw it wobbling. So yeah, I'll open up the side chat to you guys if you want to pop on. How are we going for time? Better keep an eye on it. 2 hours and a half, is it? 2 hours 15. So it's plenty of bit of time left, but I think dinner's coming up in half an hour or so. So yeah, I'll just clear that off. I'll just open up the free-for-all chat window. Yeah, anyone can jump in there if they want to. I'll just get the links to join. So I just heard a sound next to me, like something got moved. I'm sure they're watching what I'm doing, you know. Paranoid now. Did it paste? Oh, it's just getting a bit slow. Okay, so if you're not got a Windows PC with Chrome, you can actually install the Jitsi app on your thing. It's a peer-to-peer video audio communication method that has no man in the middle, so no one can actually record what you're doing, and it relies on your own hardware tech and your internet speed, basically. That's why I use it. And the link to join is this one here, and you actually can be in the room without me being in the room and talk amongst yourselves even, but it's a free-for-all room I've set up, and if you just click on that link and give access to your microphone and video, you'll appear up here in the corner. So I posted the links there if you want to jump on and have a say. I'll just carry on with the video meantime. I'll just reduce the size of it if I can. How do I do that? I have to do it in a complicated way, I guess. There we go. So it means we can Okay, what's that? Thought I saw something there. I'll just place it over this way a bit. Alright, let's just keep on going with it in the background.
So yeah, let's see what the temperature is from a distance.
And you can see it's
15,
streaming.
I told you it's colder in here. 16.
So anyone that joins here, mute your YouTube and just use the stream straightly from this application. You get it in real time. So Jitsi is like 3 seconds difference and YouTube's like 30 seconds difference.
Hallway 15.6.
So you got your opportunity to jump on and have a say about anything you want to.
The upper lounge there is really, really cold. It's the coldest room in the house next to the...
So that's a big temperature difference in that room there. 3 degrees at least.
The bedroom that I was in. Yeah.
So that's the thing with the clock though. It was saying 18 and it's saying 15.
Through the gap there. Almost. Down to 14. It's getting a bit nippy. 15 up to the aircon, which is off.
Unfortunately, I can't film it and show you what I'm looking at.
Still cold up there though.
Much better. Aim it up in a
This
minute.
door
I think.
should be the coldest glass.
So that room with the double doors there, the dog opens those up, by the way. He puts his nose in and slides them open. So we've got a rubber band there that pulls it shut again. That's my invention. I put a couple of hooks on it and put a big thick rubber band on there. So if he opens it, it sort of self-closes like automatic doors. What do we got? SO. Saitans.
Hey, what up, Holly?
Saitans, is it?
Yeah, it's Wheels. What's up, man?
It's all good. I can hear you perfectly fine. I guess everybody else can as well.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, so you got some ghost videos to go over too sometime, have we? With you?
Yeah, it's nothing real special. I just set up my cell phone, camera by where I was sitting on the table, and I hit record, and I passed out. First, I was eating, and then it happened to the camera moved a little bit as I was eating, so I was holding the plate, and I had the fork in my other hand, so the thing moved without me knowing about it. And after I ate, I passed out in the chair, and then it happened 2 more times, like somebody tapped it.
You passed out because you're super tired from driving all day? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not diabetic, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because I'm diabetic. No. And sometimes when I eat, I pass out too. And I might be working on the computer and just simply like a click of click of your fist, I'll be out like a light. Yeah. And then I'd wake up 2 hours later and wonder what happened. But I think it might be diabetes, but it could be that from other things happening to me as well. Because I haven't been doing that lately. I haven't been, I've been eating, but I've been feeling tired, but I haven't sort of gone blackout, instantly blackout like I have been doing. I just don't know if that's something physical or something external affecting me, but So it'd be good to see some movement, because like I said, the door opening up would have been a really good capture if I had the camera set up like I have in the lounge now, because the camera is up on the bench here, got aimed towards the door ever since I had the sightings there. It's gone totally quiet though. Everywhere I put cameras up, it's gone quiet, but the hallway one that looks down, the fisheye one, keeps going wrong. The nights that I have things happen, the whole thing turns off. It turns off and I have to power it on and off at the wall to reset it. I just put it down to bad Chinese firmware in it, but it does seem to go wrong more often when I'm experiencing stuff. So there might be some relationship there as well. I was going to replace it with a newer camera, you see, and see if that was going to do the same. And of course, the newer camera has alerts on it. Well, the one in the ceiling, although it allows me to record it to my special box in the kitchen there that records all day long, it still goes wrong, and then it stops sending video feed to it. But also it doesn't send alerts, movement alerts. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that it doesn't, because they took it out the firmware on purpose. So you buy connect it up into the internet, into the cloud, and upload it to the cloud rather than your own device on purpose, and all the alerts go on that instead of being streamed, right? But yeah, that's what the Chinese are doing now. They're trying to make money any tricks they can, really. But you can see there's the double doors, and you can see it reflects light pretty well. But I'm in the corner here, so it doesn't see me. And I'm measuring the temperature now.
Sensation. Look at that, 12.
That's the coldest we've got so far.
Let's go into the sunroom. It shouldn't be so cold in there. But the door is open to the outside there. So there's your coldest. That's why it's drafty. You probably come through the cracks there.
So I put down the draft to maybe cracks in the door here.
Yeah. See, I've been experiencing like light bulbs burning out prematurely. Like I'll change a light bulb, like 2 days later they'll be burnt out. My wife yells at me about this one all the And then my wife yells at me about this one all the time, that she'll come home, because I work nights. So when I leave, it's dark out, and I'll make sure all the lights are shut off, before I leave. And then when my wife gets home, after work, she goes to her mom's house, and then she comes home. So she'll call me up and say, "Why'd you leave all the lights on?" And I'm like, "No, I shut all the lights off."
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you saying? Somebody turned them on? Who turned them on?" I'm like, "It wasn't me." You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I don't know, like I have all sorts of weird stuff going on at the house. It's not only the stuff I capture outside, it's inside.
Right.
Like you were telling your story about how you felt something lay on you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think about a month ago, I had a similar thing where I just laid in bed and I rolled over to my side, and I just got comfortable. I wasn't asleep yet, and all of a sudden it felt like a dog jumped up on the bed and then laid its front arm or front legs down, like crossing my legs. And I felt physical weight down.
Yeah.
And I'm I looked up.
Did you have any tingling sensation, a weird tingling sensation? Because whenever that happens,
I just felt...
Just the weight?
I just felt the weight. Yeah, I just felt the weight down, and I felt the blanket go down.
Right. Did you have dogs in the past in the house? Are you a dog owner?
No.
You never had a dog?
I did, but not at that house.
All right.
I haven't had a dog from, I think from when I was a kid at my parents' house, but I never had a dog at this house.
Right. Are you in the toilet? It sounds like a toilet flushing or something.
I'm in the truck. It's all. Yeah. Here, check this out. That's the truck, man. So yeah, I've had that. I've had where I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden, just after I laid down, it sounded like somebody fell down the stairs, like with pots and pans and a whole bunch of crap. It was loud too, just all the way down the stairs. And I'm like, what the hell was that? I get up.
Yeah.
And then, turn on my flashlight on my phone, walk down the stairs. Nothing was disturbed. Everything was fine.
I've had exactly the same.
Have you really?
Yeah.
And then I'd go into my wife, I'd go into the bedroom, and the wife and kid are sleeping and all that stuff. And sound asleep.
Right.
Like, what the hell's going on, you know? So,
Yeah.
I know, like, on my, I think it was the anniversary of my grandma passing. It was like a year after my grandma passed. It was that same day.
Right.
My wife and kid were in bed sleeping, and I was in the bathroom, and I was just finishing up. I was just washing my hands. I had the bathroom door shut.
Right.
All of a sudden, I heard 3 knocks at the door,
Oh.
and I'm like, who the heck is up, you know? So then I open up the door.
You know, 3 knocks is bad,
And
though.
Is it really?
Yeah, it means demons, normally. It's the sign of Trinity or something. Mocking the Trinity or something like that,
Huh.
it's called. Yeah, like
Well, I
3
just thought this
scratch
was weird
marks.
because
Yeah, carry
yeah,
on.
I didn't receive any scratch marks that night, but so I went in the bedroom to see if they were asleep. They were sound asleep, and then I noticed there was a light on downstairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? I just came up from downstairs. There's, you know, all the lights were off. So I walked downstairs, and here the Curio light was on, which you can only turn on the Curio if you touch like the very top door hinge.
Yeah.
And so the light was beaming down, and my wife has an angel sitting right underneath that light.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting how that thing was on. Like, okay, so I shut that off. I mean, she never has that light on, ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to hear that girl story real quick.
Alright, yeah, carry on.
Okay, so now you know, everybody knows I work nights, and, you know, I sleep during the day, and you can never get the room dark, you know, to simulate nighttime.
Yeah.
Well, I laid down in bed, and I must have just fell asleep or something, and all of a sudden I woke up to feeling that somebody was crawling up from the bottom, you know, the foot of the bed up towards me. So I'm thinking, I wonder if my wife got home early, you know, maybe. So I physically woke up, like my eyes were open, I rolled over, I look up, and it's not my wife, okay? There's some real thin brunette girl, and all of a sudden she says, hi. I'm like, hello? And then she goes, who's the girl, who's the lady that lives here? And I said, my wife. And then she says, who's the little girl? I said, my daughter. And then she had a whole bunch of weird questions like that, just random, like, why do you work at night? And then, you know, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you park your car outside? And why is the one car inside? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I remembered, I'm like, okay, somebody said, you know, I've heard this several times that people say that if you're in a dream, you can't feel with your hands. So then I put my hand on her leg. I felt her jeans, okay? And then I thought in my head, who are you? How did you get in here?
Yeah.
And then with that, all of a sudden I blacked out, and then my alarm was going off.
Yeah. Sounds like you're in a weird situation like me.
Yeah, but see, the thing is the reason why I think that is real is because I have another strange occurrence where I was on a route, and I was doing another route for somebody else. I had no idea where the hell I was at. I just, you know, programmed in the address where I was going on GPS. Well, I had to stop to use the restroom really bad at a gas station, so I'm like, oh, just pull in here, you know, whatever. I had no idea where I was. I was probably about 2.5 hours away from home.
Right.
So I come walking out of the gas station. All of a sudden, this guy walks up to me with a suit. He was wearing like a suit and tie and a hat. He looked like a Blues Brother, you know, and he was holding a briefcase. He comes straight up to me and he says, I need to talk to you. Well, first he said, Doug, I need to talk to you. I'm like, what? I'm like, how does this guy know my name? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was on a Tuesday that the guy met me.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, I'm working right now. I can't talk. And he says, well, this is very important. And he kind of raised up his briefcase and said, this is very important. I need to talk to you, right away. And I said, listen, I don't have time for this. I'm very sorry. I said, I'll be at the bar on Friday. Meet me there. I should be there around 9 o'clock. The guy says, okay. He turns around, walks away. Well, I didn't
Men
tell
in
him
Black.
what bar I was going to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I didn't tell him what bar I was going to or whatever.
Yeah.
I just said I'm going to be at the bar at 9. He says,
Right, that's
okay,
great.
whatever. So then Friday rolls around, right?
Yeah.
I go to the bar a little early. I made sure I was there at 9 o'clock. You know, the waitress comes by, gives my drink. I'm sitting there at
Yep.
the table. I'm looking at the door. And all of a sudden, right at 9 o'clock, the guy walks in the door. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the same outfit and all that stuff.
That's creepy,
And
man.
then he comes up to my table. He puts the briefcase on the table. And he says, yeah, we need to talk. And I'm like, okay, so what's this about?
Mhm.
Then he opens up the briefcase. And he had like a ream of paper in his briefcase. And he starts kind of paging through it. I'm like, well, looks like we're going to be here, you know, a
Yeah.
long time if we got to go through all those papers. And then he says something crazy. The craziest thing, he says, that's why everybody likes you, isn't it? Because you have a real good sense of humor.
Mm.
And then at that point, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So then
Yeah.
the waitress comes by and she's like, can I get you a refill? I'm like, yeah, please, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you want anything? And he said, no, I don't want anything. Fine. Okay. And then the waitress just kind of rolled her eyes. I think she wanted a tip from both of us or whatever.
Right.
So then he proceeds to talk to me and he says, or basically he's like, I have some things to go over, but I can't seem to find it. So then I was trying to get some information from him, like who he is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what's your story? What's your background? And he says, oh, I used to race cars and I was a real outdoors person, you know, kind of like
Yeah.
yourself. And I'm like, okay, I have no idea who this dude is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing that was familiar to me about him was he looked like one of my old friends from high school, you know, real close friend, but I hadn't seen him in years and never heard from him after he got a girlfriend. And
Right.
so then he goes, yeah, and then I did some rock climbing and some extreme sports or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so what do you have for me? And he says, he's paging through he keeps like thumbing through the whole ream of papers. And I'm like, so what's this about anyway? You know what I mean? He goes, well, I can't find what I'm looking for. But he says, I know you're going through a rough time right now. And this was the time where I just got a divorce. And I was in a horrible place of state of mind and all this stuff. And he says, I want to let you know right now, things are going to get better. You're going to get remarried, and you're going to have a kid. And I was taken back. I'm like, no, this is never going to happen because I don't want anything to do with women, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was about to ask, how do you know this? The waitress comes back, and she goes, oh, do you want another one? And I'm like, yes. And then I said, just wait, though. I said, come here. You know, I turned my head to the right to talk to the waitress. And then I said, come here. We got to talk to you. And she's like, oh, what? You know. So I whispered in her ear. I said, do you see him right now? Am I hallucinating? Is there a guy sitting across from me? Because I really thought I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And she looks over. And she goes, he's gone. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I turned my head forward, and the guy was completely gone. He vanished, like out of thin air.
Right.
And I'm like, I turned to her, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she's like, I don't know. Here's your beer. You can have it on me. That's it. She never came by my table ever again. And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I don't even know what the hell happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know what the hell but the moral of the story is here's the weird part is that actually came true. Like about a year after I met the guy,
Yeah.
I met a girl, we got married, and then we adopted a kid. So, I mean, we adopted our dog.
Right. Yeah.
So, everything that he said came true. But it's like, who the hell is this guy?
You know, I've heard the story from other abductees that say that aliens actually control how things happen in your life. Like, they make sure the certain person that you marry is genetically viable, you know, for what they're trying to experiment with, stuff like that. So they interfere with relationships. They get rid of the old relationship and bring in the person they want, which may be a hybrid. Maybe your wife is a hybrid and you don't even know. But anyway,
I don't know. I mean, she doesn't want anything to do with this stuff that I deal with. She doesn't want to believe in this UFO stuff. Like, I have a drawing I still haven't shared with you on Discord yet, but her and I actually witnessed a craft, and it was right outside our bedroom window.
Right.
And she saw it with me. We both saw it disappear before our eyes. It disappeared, and like it had 6 lights around it on the inside of it, and it was like a light switch. Like somebody shut the lights off, and as the lights were dimming down, it became more invisible and more invisible. Like it just blinked out of existence. And you know, at first my wife was like, "Oh, you want me to see the plane outside?" And then we saw it disappear, and I said, "That's no plane. Plane doesn't just disappear like that."
Mm.
And then she just kind of looked at me and then went to bed, like it was nothing. But she doesn't want to know about this stuff, like at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're right. I mean, unless she might be something else and she doesn't want me to know anything.
Yeah. Didn't really, is it? Yeah, I won't be too long.
But yeah, it's some crazy stuff. That's the reason why I think that girl was real, just because of meeting that guy. And I wonder if it was a test to see what I would do if the girl was in bed with me.
Yeah. I think it might be a test. And what are my visions and happenings all about? I don't understand it either. But yeah, according to Stephen Cambion, I'm out there. A wee bit out there. So maybe you are too.
I think we all are a little bit, but I think some of us just see more shit than others do, and
yeah,
that's a big.
It might be something to do with the brain chemistry as well, or I think maybe I was a bit more open after my out of body experience. Sort of changed me from that point onwards. So maybe, and maybe these spirits know that you're a bit more open, and that's why they're always. Maybe I haven't got a house full of ghosts that are trying to communicate with me, and I'm just ignoring them. I'm sort of blocking them out, most of the time.
Right.
But yeah, interesting stuff you got there. But if you could back up the house lights turning on with actual video footage, that would have been really good.
Yeah, because I know I want to do that this winter, because when it's winter out, it's way too cold. We sit outside looking at the sky, so I want to try to do that and capture more of that stuff.
See,
it's just weird because I know that.
Yeah.
What's up?
The only lights that switch on, far as I've seen, have been ones with electronic switches, which means they can influence it quite easily. Physical switches, I haven't seen them turn lights on with physical switches, because they're quite sturdy, right? And you got to flip it upwards or downwards or whatever. Are your lights like touch sensitive lights that are coming on, or do they physical switches?
They're physical switches, but they're really easy to manipulate.
Yeah, my ones are not. Right. Okay.
I know you do have to manually flip it up, but it's really easy to move. It doesn't take a lot of weight to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta get going here, man.
Okay, mate.
I'm almost
Thanks
at my
for joining
stop.
us. I'm going to wrap up now anyway. I'll just finish off this video, and anyone else can jump on if they want to. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Everybody's
but I
probably
just wanted to
half
share.
asleep.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you real quick. 'Cause I thought that was really interesting about how you felt something at the foot of your bed and stuff like that. And I wanted
Yeah.
to tell you that
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll take it easy. I'll catch you. Hopefully, you'll do a thing this weekend. We can talk more.
We'll see what happens. I can only research so much and bring it to you guys. You know, but yeah. Take care, and we'll see you on Discord. There's a strange, noise we're getting in the background there on your phone, though.
Oh,
sounds like
that's my.
Sounds like you're in
my Jake brake on the semi.
Ah, right, is it? Sounds like you're in a tunnel, and it's got water dripping sound.
Yeah, it's just this truck. It makes a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
I slowed down. I got off the highway. That's why.
Yeah, and of course, because you're using the phone app, you probably got more harmonics in it, and it's making it sound really strange. But anyway, it's really good that you got jumped on and just had a chat, because a lot of people are scared to open up on their experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it how I'll tell it how it is and what I experience. It's just a lot of people just say a story's a story, but it's something that actually happened, and I mean, I can't back it up, but I try to do whatever I can to.
So, what do you think of my the head? Did you think that looked like a head?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you notice how it sort of looked like it was coming up on an elevator, like it drifting up on this TV screen.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of good capture, though, wasn't it? Though, just if they didn't touch me or interfere with me that night, I wouldn't have looked on the camera at all, and I would have missed that happening. But anyway, I think they want to be.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think they want us to know. Some of them want to know that they're around us. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Whether it's afterlife, whether it's interdimensional beings that are mimicking humans, or aliens are coming here to try and capture them and take them back, maybe, or anything like that, any scenarios like that. But it'd be good. Maybe we should get together and write a really good sci-fi movie based on all of it, and it'll be like a better than James Fox or whatever. It'd be like a sci-fi paranormal thing or whatever. I suppose we just need third phase of the moon camera experts to help us put it together.
Yeah.
We could use some of their stage props.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, take care on the roads, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. I actually will close down the voice chat now, but if you want to come on, anyone else that's out there wants to come on, let me know in the side chat and I'll open it up again. Alright, okay. Sightings. I'll just cut you off there, maybe. But hopefully you had all what you had to say for the time being. We're going to obviously do more shows in the future where you can jump on. So here I'm using the meter around the Wi-Fi router. It's got 4 antennas on it, and around the clock, and look how much it peaks. We're getting 72 in the bedroom, and this just flies off like crazy.
Let's put it onto the other.
Okay, I'm not really near the clock at all, and it's suddenly peaking crazy, so it's like something was standing there. I couldn't quite work it out. It's kind of weird. And then suddenly goes away. To me, that must have been something standing there, right? That's an indication of something that was there, and I could feel a cold breeze. Again, I need to probably look at a better meter that's got temperature added on the three things.
Did you see that? So does that mean there was something here? Let's go back to the clock again. Let's go and pick up again.
So that's going up really crazy high. 400.
If you separate, it should stop. That's kind of weird.
It could be a bug in the firmware, I guess. Maybe it wasn't something standing there. I don't know. So this is why we're doing experiments with it. You never know about Chinese products.
Oh, it's only stops.
Dead silent.
Let's go to the router. You expect a lot here.
Oh, look at that.
700.
The router is really pumping it out.
Wow.
Overload.
Overload.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you won't want to rest your head on that all night long. You'd definitely be having visions. Up at 5 hours. Okay, maybe you can join on the voice sometime, Anthony, Tony, or whatever you want to be called. S4. Good night. I'm just going to wrap up in 10 minutes anyway. Good night. Just going to wrap up this video here. I think I was showing you around the microwave as well.
Be too close to this. You can see with inverse square law, and as you get further away,
it's almost like that induces a field into it. It should drop away pretty quick as you step away, but you can see there it's kind of like weird where it sort of hung around 200. But you can see when I went from that router being overload, it's dropped right back to reasonable levels.
like the microwave drops down, but it's still quite high here where Mum sits. But it's not deep.
She's pretty close to the router, but inverse square law, right? The energy drops off. So there you go.
It's gone down.
It's just on that side of the chair where the radio phone is. Look, probably that.
Just here.
Maybe, I don't know.
Right, gone. It's like it's moving.
Yeah, I just don't know what was going on there.
It's back over here again.
But that's about 3 a.m. in the morning now.
This has got some sort of delay.
See, I can't work it out why it was so high.
It's the magnetron.
Okay, that's right on the microwave. It's not even on, and it's doing this. Now we're getting magnetic reading. Obviously, it's got a magnet in it. And we're getting electric field, so there's obviously some circuit that's sort of open, which is powering off the clock on it. Maybe that's just enough to create a 20.
Inside the microwave. There's magnets here.
So that's the first time that type of reading's gone off, and it's only near the microwave because it's a magnetometer, however it's called. Oh, look at that. That peaked up.
Magnets on the fridge. That triggers it. Big one there. Weak magnet.
So magnets on the
compared
fridge.
To my ones that I bought. Yeah, so there's compares to the meter, doesn't it? Might be more accurate. So, if you get some crazy readings like that, with it just sitting on the table, you can see it's gone quiet. As soon as I say that.
Yeah, as soon as I say it, bang.
Probably play it back and hear EVPs, probably, will we? Never know.
As soon as I put it down, it stops again.
Yeah,
but it might be because I'm filming it at the same time there. So we always got to debunk ourselves. But yeah, I thought we'll leave it at that. Hopefully you enjoyed what I've presented here. Hopefully you can see that I'm not trying to shill you or hoax anything. Just trying to document things. But that one there, that definitely looks like side profile of a person to me. In fact, maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Maybe that's the two eyes there and the nose here and the mouth here, rather than a side profile of the chin here and the nose and the eyeball here. I can see there's like two faces. But But it kind of looks like a demon face, that one, doesn't it? Side on, but what's that behind? Maybe it is something crazy. Let's have a quick look at it again. I suppose I was meant to do the other ones too, really. Maybe we can re-look at more of it another time. Probably the weekend. We'll recap it or something and look at the other bits. But I'm probably a wee bit tired now, and I should go and have some dinner while it's warm. I think it's chicken rolls tonight for me, because I'm on this juice diet, trying to get my health better and get rid of the extra lockdown weight. So yeah, I'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll go back over more of it. This is like a early intro into the new stuff that we got. So yeah, I know probably more people are going to join me now from UK, is it? Let's see, early morning UK, 7 or 6 over there. But yeah, unfortunately I'm going to wrap up now. Let's see, it must be like must be coming up to what is it on the recordings here? Coming up to 3 hours, so that's good enough for a live show. Make it too long, people probably won't watch. But yeah, go back and watch it from the start, and I'll just run up the end credits and say goodnight and take care on the roads, people. And I'll see you again my weekend, hopefully. If not, Friday night be your time. Either Saturday or Friday, I'm not sure yet. And maybe I even do Sunday, who knows. But I don't want to conflict. I don't want to conflict with Stephen show too much, because everybody likes him, and I have no one watching. And Goof on have been going, no one watches him. I did skim through a lot of that footage though. But I didn't hear any EVPs on it, but it doesn't mean there isn't any, of course. Go and check out that full video clip of the bed, and the drive link for downloading the video, and you can have a look and see if you can find stuff I missed, maybe. If you can handle the snoring. Oh, I better get that ready. And then